Good evening guys, and welcome back to another video where today I am going to be giving you an idea on some beard trims. I've had loads of customers ask me and request for this, so I'm going to show you. Unfortunately no one in my house has a beard, so I've got Donald here. I'm going to teach you a quick method to do a beard trim. It's not necessarily how we do it in the shop, but it's a basic beard trim for people who've got limited equipment at home and limited experience, so for beginners. So I'm just going to show you my equipment quickly, what I'm going to be using. So if I get lovely hands come over here. So similar to when I did some of the other home haircut stuff, I've literally got, ignore these two, I've literally got a pair of clippers. Just put up a little bit of hand. Any kind of clippers really will do. And most clippers come with a number 4, 3, 2 and 1. I've got a pair of scissors, I probably won't even need to use those. Obviously a comb and a brush to brush the hair off. And so, get you back over here, Han. What we're going to do, if I get any comments by the way, Han, feel free to read them out. What we're going to do is, on Donald here, we're going to do a basic beard trim where a lot of people like their beards longer. That's something that we kind of specialise at Number One Barbers, but it's going to be difficult to achieve that at home. So we're going to still keep it a little bit long. And I've also never really done a beard trim on one of these guys before. So, because their hair you can see is very different. It's actually head hair to a beard trim, but we'll try and see. I'll talk you through the principles and we'll go from there. I'm going to get a very straight line here, I can see already. Right, so just before I start, just a quick reminder as well that we are still running a competition where any of you guys who have done home haircuts at home, if you take a picture of your home haircut and upload it to Facebook and tag the Number One Barbers Facebook page, or upload it to Instagram and tag our Instagram, Number One Barbers, you'll be entered into a competition. We're going to pick the best one for a free haircut and beard trim if you have it, and we'll give some runners-up prizes too. Right, let's get on with it. So, I've got my clippers, and what I'm planning to do is, what is often quite common, is do it slightly longer on the chin and slightly shorter, fading slightly shorter onto the sides. So what you need to do is pick one of the longest guards that you've got. This is a bit like the work down method on the haircut that I talked about. Tell me if I'm in the wrong position, hand to show anything.
You're good.
So we've got our number 4. We literally just put our number 4 on our clippers, and we're going to aim to do, I always start with the client, if you're doing this could work on yourself or on someone else, but I always start with the client just sitting up before I tip them back. So sitting upright or standing, and I'm going to do a number 4, which is the longest one you'll probably have. I've actually got longer, but it's irrelevant. And we're going to kind of do where the shape of a goatee would be. You can kind of see that. That's all going to be on a number 4, and you can imagine that where a goatee would be. We're going to do a 4 all on that section. So let's have a look. So as with any haircut or beard trim, we'll comb the hair first, just to check there's no tangled bits. Again, this is very different to facial hair, but it will give us an idea. So then we start on the chin area with our longer guard, which is the number 4, just gently working our way down. I have no idea what Donald here is going to look like underneath this beard, but we shall see. Or how good it will look. It looks a little bit see-through already. Again, your facial hair will be different to this, or your client's facial hair. So you can see that we've done the chin area on a number 4. Have we got the whole head in, Han?
Yeah.
So you can see that I'm still kind of flicking out with it. I'm working gradually closer, trying to keep this part of the clipper in contact with the hair, not the point. You're not trying to point in, you're not trying to hit the hair, you're trying to keep this flat part in contact with the face. And we're just doing the area that where a goatee would be, being careful of eyes and nose, and you don't want to stick the clippers anywhere. Sometimes to get these underneath bits it might help to tip the client back, but with this hair it's relatively easy just to run the clippers. So this is a 4, as you can see, as I described at the beginning, it's a 4 mainly on this goatee area. We're going to take the moustache shorter in a moment. Again, this isn't necessarily how we do it at work, but I'm taking some inspiration from what we do at work and trying to break it down in an easier ideas for you guys with the equipment that you might have. You alright, Hannah?
Yeah, Dave just said it's a shame Hannah can't show us on you.
Cheers, mate. I think you have the same problem, mate, so we're sorry, don't we? It's definitely better than Santa, though. So that's our number 4. So that's our longer guard down on the chin in the goatee area. Then what we're going to do, can I show you on this side? It might be a little bit easier. We're gradually going to work our way through the guard. So we're going to do a 3 and then a 2 and then maybe even a 1. So we're now going to put our 3 on, which is slightly shorter than our 4. And then we're going to simo it, and we're going to do probably about the width of the clipper head, again using this part away from where the goatee is, and that will take it. Can use the comb to keep combing it. Gosh, he's got a very unusual facial hair, this guy. Very strange. So we've got our 3, and we've done it about the width. We might do it a little bit more. Just a little bit more. So we've gone 4 and then 3. Let's do the other side. I've gone a little bit wider. That makes it easy just to spin our Donald like that. He's definitely got better hair than the other Donald that we all know. So that's the 3. There we go. I know a few of my customers have tried to do their beards at home and ended up losing it, and the others have gone for the route of just looking totally homeless, and I guess they're going to have some mad beard trims when this is over. So that's our 4 on the chin, 3 on the sides. Now we're going to move to the next shorter grade, which is a 2. So we're getting our number 2, which is, I believe, 6 mil. Some people get the numbers confused with millimetres or centimetres, so always check that. My number 4, I think, I said this last time, is, what is that, 13 millimetres, so 1.3 centimetres. So we've gone 4, 3, now with the 2. We're trying not to go too far across the face with the 2, because we're still leaving a little bit of length, and it's looking like, with the unusual way the hair's put into this, it's a little bit different, but we're going to come in with our 2. And when we get here, we'll be using the C motion, so we'll be going in with our clipper and coming away, trying to create a bit of a blend. This method is a method that we use when we're doing the haircut as well, and we're doing the sides of the hair. We come in, I was teaching Hannah this when she cut my hair in one of our previous videos, and we're creating a C motion with our clippers. And that's the same as you're trying to fade it into anything. So I've now done my 4, my 3, and now my 2. If you guys want me to do a haircut on this guy, any particular type of haircut, probably only got one in him, write in the comments what kind of haircut you'd like me to do, and I'll do a tutorial on that. I wouldn't call it a tutorial, I call it an at-home guide. It's not really a tutorial. So we're constantly brushing the client off. So that's my 4, 3, now 2. I'm going to come around to the other side, so you stay there and I'm going to spin him. There we go. We've done our 4, our 3, and now go back in with our 2. Always check your guards, because if you've been picking them up and putting them down, I like to lay mine out in size order, so then there's not really going to be any mistakes if you put them back that way. You might not pick up the wrong one and do it a bit too short. Again, we're using that C motion going in. If anyone feels like just saying hi during this video, or has any questions about what I'm doing, or any requests or anything, just let me know. I know it's Easter Sunday and you've all probably had a few. Been out, hopefully been enjoying the sun in your gardens and staying safe but still trying to enjoy yourselves as well. So you can see now, this is a bit unfair because this guy, obviously a lot of it's already shaped up anyway. Yours would be very rough around here and very rough around here, but I will talk you through that. So at this point you would still have done the same thing. So now we've done our 4, our 3, our 2. I should have got a photo before I started with this guy. Unfortunately I didn't. And then if you're feeling really daring, you could go down to a 1.5. That would be okay for most people to stop there. And even if they had a short haircut, a 2 would kind of blend into their hair here. But I'm going to go a little tiny bit shorter and go down to a 1.5. If you've got a number 1 guard and you have a pair of clippers with a taper arm, some clippers do, not all, but you put your number 1 on and you pull that lever to the open position, and that then becomes a 1.5. So it gives you just a little bit of extra length. It's a little bit less aggressive than a 1. So I'm just gently gliding over this area. I'm not actually pushing really hard because I don't want to go too hard on this guy. I'm just taking it just a little bit shorter. And he's got very unusual hair. Normally with facial hair it would be a bit different to this. It's a bit wobbly, isn't it? Looks good though. Looks alright, that's about the best that you're going to get with that thing. I'm just going back up to my 2 now. And again, just checking that it is a 2 before I go in with it. That looks better. Very good, this is to be perfect. There we go, looking good. So we've done our 4, our 3, so basically the goatee area in a 4, this side area in a 3, this whole area in a 2, and a 1.5 if you want to, just to tidy up near the sideburn. And come around to the other side as well. So we've done our 4 on the chin area, our 3, our 2. I'm just going to do a 1 here. I've done a couple of haircut videos now. One with me cutting my son's hair, and one with Hannah cutting my hair. And it's the same kind of principle. A lot of people, if they want, you know, a beard trim that's faded short from a 1 to something longer on the chin, beginners will go straight in with a 1 there, put a bald hole in, and then it's really difficult to come back from that. Whereas if you start with something longer and gradually work your way down, it's a very good method for beginners and home haircutting. Not necessarily what you teach now, it's a bit of an old method, but in this scenario it works really well. So again, I've got my number 1 on, and then I'm opening the lever just to make it a 1.5. I'm just gently gliding over this area, not pushing too hard, just trying to tidy it up a little bit further. There we go, let's just tidy it up a little bit. Now I'll go back onto my 2. Check that it is a 2. That's it. And then now, what we'll do at this point is we'll have a look at the moustache. Obviously that's very long. Again, like before, you probably want that quite tight. It's probably quite annoying if it's yourself or someone else. Don't necessarily go straight in with a 1 or something really short. Go with something longer and work your way down to that. So I'm going to do, I've done a 4 on the chin here, I'm going to do a 3 and see what that looks like first of all. There's no point in going straight in and realising you've made a mistake. It's difficult, you know, you've got to be careful of the nose, so come to the side of the nose here. And you'll see that I'm using that C motion, again, in this case, to avoid his nose. So I'm coming up and just missing his nose. With the shorter grades, it is easier to get underneath the face, so you will be tempted to do that. So this is the 3 now. And as you can see, still needs a little bit of shortening. So I'm going to go down to 2. Still using that C motion. You can always turn it sideways, but just when you're coming in sideways, be careful where the bottom of the clipper is, because you don't want it going into the hair there, so maybe coming at a bit of an angle. You can move a real person's nose a little bit, so you could move it out of the way a little bit. Looking much more tidy. Then there's a little cheat that I do sometimes in the shop, which I'm not going to show you, I don't think, because if you try and do it at home, you're likely to make a very big mistake. So I'm going to try and stick to methods that you perhaps could use. So at this point, you can see it's looking a lot better. You've got your 4, your 3, your 2, your 1.5, and it's looking a lot tighter. Obviously, it would be scruffier here. I will talk you through that in a moment. So at this point, this is how it looks. Sometimes it can be really woolly under here and difficult to get to, so you will need to, just don't worry if it's still really woolly here now, because we can tip the client back in a minute or get them to tip their head back. It's obviously much easier if someone else is doing it for you. Let's just line these up again. So now I'm going to go to my 1.5, just because it's a short guard and it's easy to get under here, but just be very, again, very, very light with it, because it will be very easy to put a hole in. Just try and take it a little bit tighter around the lip, so that Donald doesn't get too much barbecue food in there. Looking good. That's good as it can look with this thing. So, at this point then, what we would normally do is brush the client off. It would look like this at this point, apart from it would be a lot scruffy around the edges. And we will get our client to tip his head back. So I'm just going to see if I can work out how to do that. I'm going to do it, that's the one. So I'm not sure how far back this thing will go. Okay. So I look like I'm throttling him, but I'm just tipping his head back. So obviously with your, with the person you're working with, whether it's yourself or someone else, their neck would open up a lot more than that, but even that's given me a bit more view. Then at that point, you go back in again with your longer one. Start with your longer one. So again, I'm starting with my 4. What time have we got? And I'm going in, and I'm starting with my 4 before I go any shorter. I think, no, I need a little bit shorter than that. That's not taking off enough. And you again work your way down. So if the person had longer hair under here, it would be like a 4. Then slightly lower than that, a 3, then a 2. It is difficult with these longer guards, but if they tip their head right back, it's easier. Rather than, again, going in with a 1 or something, and then not being able to repair it. And then down to a 2. And you'll see that from that angle, I'm tipping this edge of the clipper into the hair, but keeping the front edge away, because I don't want to take too much off this very trim part. You could even hold it out the way. It is quite tricky to do this to this dummy, but... And then, we'll brush him off. We do it down to a 2, down to a 1 if there was hair here. Kind of similar to the way we take these sides. Then you come in with your clippers. Be very gentle doing this, and we're going to turn them this way. And we're going to use them to create this line underneath here. With this mannequin, with this blockhead, there is already a line sewn into the hair, so I won't really have to do it. So what I'll do is I'll show you how you would do it. You literally hold the clippers like this. I always start in the middle. So we come round to the middle of the neck, and you put your first line in. So I'm just literally coming down to where I'd imagine it would be, and then gently pressing against the neck, but being gentle, because clippers, particularly if they're not set right, can break the skin a little bit or cause irritation. So you're coming in and you're just gently pressing against it. I've done my line at the front, then you come onto the side, and you want the side, the line that you're putting in to kind of follow the person's jaw underneath. So you can see this is perfect because the hair's been planted in, and you want to be like a centimetre away from their jaw, which is kind of perfect already on this one. And then you're pushing down. You know, this is making me look probably better than I am, because my head's not anyway, is it, Han? A little bit. People are definitely not enjoying this as much as the video where Han was cutting my hair last week, and they were loving the fear on my face. And now you can see that looks obviously really good, but that's the basic general idea. If anyone's got any questions afterwards and they want to message me in regards of how to do that, or they want to do a FaceTime with me or an Instagram live or anything, I can talk your girlfriend through it, your mum through it, whoever, your sister, whatever you need to do, brother. Right, so then that's under the neck. Then we sit the client back up again. Oh, can I get through this? Awkward. Spin him around. There we go. So at this point, we would have our 4, 3, 2, 1. We've trimmed this a bit shorter. It's all looking reasonably good. This would be now tidy. You could then use a razor underneath here and wet shave if you really wanted to. And then we'd have to do these bits. So the same way that we would do the top bits, the bottom bits here, we would do the top. But rather than going in this way, it's quite difficult to see what's going on underneath your hand. You would go in this way. So you turn your clipper upside down. I'm just going to swap to this side. And you would gently push downwards. So you're pushing against the skin and then pushing down to create that line, but yet still being able to see what you're doing. Obviously this is already done for me, so it's very easy. And you do that on both sides, and then you do the same for the moustache. See, I've got another pair of trimmers here that are like a beard trimmer. That's what I would normally use in the shop. If you don't have access to these, you can still do it with the big ones. Let me just show you a little bit. Still, it's the same way as the line underneath. Here you want to be just a little tiny bit above the lip line, so you can see the lip through the hair. Well, I kind of can on this guy, it's all the same colour, but... And you don't want to be dead straight, you want to follow the kind of heart shape of a lip. You can turn them and just use the corner. And you can see, I might even just finish it off with these anyway, because it's easy enough. And you're following this guy's lip shape. Donald. My head to the way. There we go. It looks good. Again, we repeat the step around here with holding the clippers upside down. I wouldn't do it with my left hand, but I'm just showing you so I'm not in the way of the camera. Then, after we've done that, we are pretty much there. So we've done underneath here with our clippers, holding them this way, with the client sit back. We've done up here with our clippers holding them this way. And we've done along here, being very careful and very gentle to create a nice tight line along here. Also, same with any hair or beard, it's good to look from different angles to make sure you haven't missed any bits. Then at this point, we are pretty much finished. What you could do now, if you wanted to be really polished and want to make it really neat, got a lot of time on our hands, is get a Bic razor or something similar, whatever you do a wet shave with, and you could wet shave down to that line. Things like the Gillette Fusion have one blade, and you could shave down to that line with that after that point. We in the shop, we would use a cutthroat razor, looks something like this, and we would make a really sharp, really hard line that does look something like that with our cutthroat razor. Obviously, you're not going to have one of those at home, and even if you have, I wouldn't recommend trying it out, not without proper training. But yeah, that's basically it. That's basically my rough home guide to a longer beard shape. You know, a lot of my clients have really quite long beards, so the methods we use to create those are slightly different to this. But this is quite a good halfway house. If you're someone who has a long beard, and we're in lockdown at the moment, it's a way of still kind of keeping a bit of length to it, but obviously it's probably a bit shorter than you want, but being able to maintain it yourself or somebody else do it. Anyway, that's about it for me and Donald. If you've got any suggestions on a haircut for him, that'd be great. Like I said earlier on in the video, if you have done any home haircuts and you're happy to post a picture to Facebook or Instagram, just tag the Number One Barbers Facebook page or Number One Barbers on Instagram, and you'll be entered into a competition. Maybe we'll do a vote. The best haircut will win a free haircut, beard trim, and the runners-up will win products or something along those lines. Yeah, any questions, feel free to ask. And that's it. Peace, see you soon. Stay safe.